Good morning, everybody. ES is chopping. Let's not ascribe anything other than chop to it. There was a play. Let's get the RSI off my screen real quick. The farther I scroll down, the worse the chart looks. There it goes. Okay, there was a play. The play was last night to clear here and trade it to here. It went a little bit further. It went up to resistance. It left equal highs. I'm almost certain that those will be swept out next. That being said, if you took that play, it was worth looks like about 20 points. It is what it is, guys. We came up to next resistance. I wanted to hold a higher low right here, pre-market, to have some upside today. We failed. That means we are in the chop. I also posted that we're probably going to have some teeth gnashing bullshit today. I don't know a better way to describe it. Basically, what's happening is our BTC ES ratio has been impulsing. So that means liquidity is going into crypto. So, yep. There will be a time for this thing to go. It just hasn't gone yet. Remember, I can be wrong about all of this, but I haven't changed my idea in a week, and I'm not going to change it until I'm proven wrong. So, how do I get proven wrong? Well, at this point, we just need to lose the low. So the bear case started when we lose 7,657. It is a low time frame bear case where we just back test first. I always think that markets are trickier, or they try to catch the most amount of people off guard as possible. That means I think we could go up before we come down, and then we will launch. I will tell you, all these lows that we're forming right here are very, for lack of a better word, shit. They will likely get swept out once we finish our upside, okay? So, what does that mean? What is the upside? We just need to clear resistance, and it is going to be a pain, just like it has been thus far. I mean, if we take this 7,710s over, half chance it just comes up here and wicks down again and does this. So, or it can just push through. The point is I think it's going to push through because this is last week's flag. This is where I want to back test. Okay, so we want to get up to the 7,770s, but the path there is horrible. You can see it on the chart in front of me. We have NVIDIA earnings tomorrow as a catalyst, so maybe it's all in one candle, you know. The least favorite way to play. But yep, for now, I'm looking for upside, and that's how I want to take it. So let's try to piece this together in small pieces. If we break resistance, which is 777, I'm sorry, 700 to 7711, we are going to take it one level up. That's the next play. Just like this morning, you take one little play at a time because retracement is a thing. Ultimately, what we want to do, though, is set some sort of higher low on the 7,730s. Once we can do that anywhere in this area, we expect new all-time highs. So let's review real quick for the trades. 1, break resistance. 2, take it one level higher. 3, don't know what's going to happen in here, the path it's going to take, but we want to get our way up to this flag in 7,770s. 4, we want to set a higher low off this. If we do set a higher low off this and this flag looks productive, we expect this to be a bull trap straight up into the end of the week, maybe early next week. And once that bull trap is there, we are expecting to be taking profit and hedging SpaceX and Palantir down to the 7,600 back test. That is the plan that I am presenting to you, the narrative of the market. Now I will support it with other things and talk about Bitcoin. First, other things. VIX. VIX has room to the downside. I keep telling you this. I still believe it. We are looking for a 1364 move and then a 1240 move. Okay. So room to the downside. DXY, room to the downside. Same exact thing. We expect DXY to come on down. Bitcoin, room to the upside. It is slow going because we're in a flag, but we are certainly in a flag, and we expect that flag to break upwards. We're looking for mid-90s for this next move. Okay. Somewhere take profit somewhere around 94, but I'm not going to take profit unless we hit 95. I already hit my take profit at 74. Now my goal is to hold it towards all-time highs, and if we hit a move like this, I'm going to add right here. Maybe I'll trim slightly in the upper 90s, but the goal would be just to add back to increase the amount of shares down around 85 for a back test. So Bitcoin goes. We had RIOT and Mara ads today. Both looks good so far. Looks like both look really good so far. I'm only doing that because I think Bitcoin's about to break, and because for one, we had a stop loss wick at Mara. You can see it right here. So this gives us a nice stop loss to use. Yeah, I don't know. I do want to talk about some nuance tomorrow with the AMD trade. So AMD is looking good, right? I mean, it's objectively having an okay day, but I don't think it's great overall to take this trade. So let's talk about a little bit of nuance here. NVIDIA earnings tomorrow, right here, this black line on my chart. I know that AMD is going to trade over 700. Like, I know this. I don't know if it's going to do it. I don't think it's like an earnings play, right? I don't think it's going to go like this on earnings. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying on the next leg up, I think it's going to trade over 700. Now, here's my issue. When I was looking at the rotation play, which is I've been using Merit in AMD to analyze. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Mara, AMD Mara. Perfect. When we got into Mara, we started adding AMD and getting out of, or I'm sorry, we started exiting AMD trade and getting into Mara. It was up here. Well, here's the issue. I think that this has a lot of downside, right? So that means if AMD goes up to 700, Mara should eclipse that and have an even bigger push. So the question becomes, if you have limited capital, the better trade is to stay in Mara right now than AMD. Even so, if you are okay, like you have to realize that if you are sitting in your long-term portfolio and you have exposure to AMD and NVIDIA like I do, this is not a sell. But if you're looking for a trade, the trade is in crypto right now, not in semis. Because if you can look at this and say, you know, sideline this whole move, right? It comes up and it comes down, flags into the flag, higher, low, and goes, and it just sends, right? Well, the send is going to be like a 70%, 60% move over a couple months, okay? But the Mara move, that makes it, you know, a much bigger move than that. So if you have a limited capital allocation, the trade isn't AMD, even though AMD looks bullish. Hopefully that makes sense. If it's sitting in your high time portfolio, it looks great. If you are like, you know, limited in capital like all of us are and trying to move money around, crypto is the better sector to be in my opinion. Okay, coin looks good. Tracking Bitcoin. We want that Bitcoin move up to push this. Upstart looks fine. Everything just takes forever. So we're in clearly a forever flag. Meta's in its relief bounce. I'm going to add Meta back above 600. I'm just letting this relief bounce play out. I don't know how long it's going to take. SpaceX is going to set up its short. I need it to go to about 180 to short it. Looks like Netflix is cruising. You would love to see it. Our take profits mid-90s on Netflix. NVAX is about to... Ooh. Okay, this is good. I had told somebody that they're likely, if you're in NVAX, you want to take profit somewhere around here. This is for gas and gains. He had held through this. So to remind you, I want to get in NVAX when it reclaims 940. But what I'm thinking is going to happen, guys, is it's going to come down and test this wick right here, this big low wick, or maybe even sweep it out. And I want to get in NVAX right now on the retracement. So we should be loading up on NVAX if it gets down to 830. I don't think it's going to break up with the market. I think the goal here is to take from $8.30 to $20 trim and then see what happens next. Okay, so let's see if we can get this retracement on NVAX, but it's in a good spot. We're still long Apple target 350. Palantir looks good. It's just chopping around before its impulse candle. We're going to take profit 196. NVIDIA looks just like AMD, where it is extremely bullish. But the question is, where do you want to put your money? Okay. I think that's all to talk about. Everything looks good today. MSTR is our coin play. So you're either in MSTR or coin. You don't need to be in both. I chose coin. You can be, they're mirroring each other structure wise for the wave patterns they're in. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I like the miners. I've always liked the miners, but I like them again today because everything looks pretty good. They're both at resistance, so maybe they come down a little bit today. Hold their higher lows, and they can track Bitcoin higher when it's time. We really need Bitcoin just to finish its consolidation and go. Will that be today, tomorrow, the next day? NVIDIA Catalyst, something he yells into the microphone in a week. I have no idea, guys, but we're getting closer, and it's bullish consolidation. All right, take care, guys.